Hi, I'm Figment, and this is just kind of a coupling video to the previous video I did when I had a demonstration on compression with drums. There was just a few points I left out, pretty much one little one I left out, and I wanted to add it in real quick. And that was the use of the output gain and the threshold. So basically, when we're looking at that poppy snare that I've kind of isolated it, it's kind of coming in at around negative 24 dB, where it's peaking in around negative 24 dB. And that's kind of a thing you kind of want to, when you're looking at the threshold, you kind of want to watch the metering of whatever it is that the audio signal you're working with, and then make judgments based on the audio signal with no compression on it, before you add compression. What I mean by that is with no compression, it's bypassed right now. It's coming in around negative 24 dB. The other snare is coming in at around about negative 33 dB. So there's a bit of a gap, maybe about 10 dB, you could almost say, between the two. So this threshold that I've set here is at negative 28.1 dB. And that was a very specific number I chose, based on where the snare is coming in. So the minute this snare crosses negative 28 dB, and it always will, because it's so loud, that is when this compressor kicks in. It's got a very high ratio, so it's getting a lot of reduction. And I've lowered the output gain. There's actually a reduction in the gain. A very high reduction as well. Because it's a snare and it's such a quick sound, I gave it a fairly quick attack, in the middle range release, you could say. But most importantly, what I wanted to bring up was this threshold amount here that I chose was very specific. I guess all of these settings are very specific to the task at hand. I'm going to cut this off now. But I just harped on kind of the ratio a bit, and I wanted to talk really more about because really the threshold and ratio are going to be working together. They're so important to get them both right, if you will, for the task. So yeah, simple and plain. I don't want to rule out the attack and release either. All of these things, really, if you want to get the most out of a compressor, you really kind of have to consider all the factors. Of course, the ratio and threshold, but the attack and release times are pretty important too, because every sound is a bit different. When you're messing around with something short like a snare versus maybe a bass guitar that's going to have some longer notes, some shorter notes, etc., you're going to have obviously different attack and release settings based on that. But I did want to acknowledge the threshold use here, and I did want to acknowledge the output gain use here. So I hope that was informational. Either way, I'll talk to you guys later.